Hey guys, I'm Dust, and since the release of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is drawing ever closer, I decided to rank every single Pokemon mainline game. Just saying, this is my opinion, which means, well, this one is objectively right, and if you have anything to say about it, feel free to leave that in the comments. Anyways, let's get right into it. Generation 1. The one to start it all. The one generation that was a complete and utter mess. I mean, just look at it. There were glitches, disgustingly bad balancing, broken mechanics. I love it. I love it. One of the best generations ever made. Just because, well, it is broken. It has disgustingly bad balance. It has glitches. All of that, every playthrough, you learn something new. And the best part is, the game is pretty short. Which means you can play through the entire story on a Saturday which means you can play through the entire game on a Saturday afternoon. Which is amazing. Also, the original Pokemon design is just legendary. Of course, there are some dots, but there are also just some, well, game changers, literally. And 2 of my 3 favorite Pokemon are from Generation 1. Right, Zapdos, Tentacruel, amazing. Moving on, Generation 2, the one that just said, yeah, Pokemon is here to stay. It shall never move, it shall become the greatest media franchise on Earth. Well, those games did so many things right. First of all, they removed nearly all obvious glitches. They fixed some broken mechanics, they introduced new ones like held items, the day and night cycle, a clock, the return of Team Rocket, which is an overarching story, and the best feature of all is the post-game, which is just the entirety of Kanto. And that was just incredible, it was mind-blowing. Problem is, those games, well, they didn't age as good as the broken mess that was Generation 1 because of one fact. Heart Gold and Soul Silver are a thing, and those are just the best Pokemon games ever made. Which means the flaws of Gold, Silver, Crystal, they're really apparent. And the flaws are really bad, like the leveling. The level curve in these games is just atrocious. I mean, literally atrocious. Just look at the mid-game. You have to beat Morty with this level 25 Gengar to access either the Random Island or the Lake of Rage and Team Rocket after that one. In the entire Rocket section and Lake of Rage section, there's not one Pokemon that is above level 20. Most of them are even below level 20. Yay, amazing! The Team Rocket admins would lose against Morty. Even the last one, in the random place where Lance just kills in person, has an ace Pokemon that is a level 25 Arbok or something. Wow! Level 25! That is 6 hours into the... Anyways. So that is a big problem. The second one... The Pokemon variety. They introduced 100 new Pokemon. Amazing. 20 of those were some kind of evolution line of previously existing Pokemon, like some babies, like Steelix, Scizor, and so on, yeah. But most of the new Pokemon actually don't appear in the main game. They're somewhere at Mount Silver, somewhere around Kanto, and those that do appear, like Gligar, or, I mean, Sneasel doesn't really appear prior to Mount Silver, so whatever. Those just have disgustingly bad movesets. Looking at Gligar, what the hell were they thinking? I mean, literally, that is disgusting. Yeah, and so if I want to play some games in Johto, I would rather play the new ones. So I do have to give those games just a good. They're just good. Crystal is better. Please, thank you. Crystal is the better game, and yeah. So that is quite sad. They didn't age as well as I would have hoped. still great games. By the way, did I mention the fetch quests, which are really long and just there to pad out time? Just look at Pokemon Crystal. You have the Sudowoodo quest, where you have to go from... From Goldenrod to the Sudowoodo to speak with that one girl, just to walk back to Goldenrod to get the Squirtle thingy, and to walk back to the Sudowoodo. But why? You already got the Gym Bash, so this is just dumb. And it's not even the only one. Whatever. Let's press on Generation 3. This is probably the generation I've played the most of. And I do have to say, I love it. I love Hoenn as a whole. Those games are just fast-paced. You've got the new running shoes. You've got the Mark bike, which is actually amazing. I used to try to break my own record at the bicycle road thingy there. Amazing, I loved it. Even though it was kind of frustrating through the sky pillar thingy, where you had to bike precisely. And I suck at doing stuff precisely, but oh well. The surfing animation was faster as normal, which was amazing because, yeah, 7 out of 10, too much water and stuff. And the region felt fresh. I really like the hideout. I really do like the hideout feature. Holy hell. I really did like it. But with every good, there comes the bad. I mean, Pokemon games were never famous for their good storytelling. But Team Aqua and Team Magma... Magma? That could be a Pokemon name. Team Aqua and Team Magma... disgustingly... What were their goals? Just say it out loud. The one team said, yeah, you know, the ocean sucks, we don't need water. The other were like, yeah, you know, the land sucks, we don't need land. The hell? Either one of those choices would have killed, like, well, every human being and most Pokemon and most creatures that inhabit the planet, but oh well, whatever. The Pokemon variety was good, decent. I guess we had like 80 something new Pokemon. The problem is there weren't any really good ones, nor were there any really bad ones. I mean, of course, there's the worst and there's the best and everything in between, but I'd be hard-pressed to say which one is my favorite. Probably something between Deoxys, Metagross, and Rayquaza? Which will make the favorite Pokemon playthrough pretty hard. Yeah. Let's go body check Gym 1. The third generation was also the first generation, which just said, you know what? The first generation was an amazing game, but yeah, it's been a while since we made money from that, so let's just remake them. Which was great. I really enjoyed the games. Just saying, you know? I really liked it. So, yeah. I would probably rather play Red and Blue right about now. But oh well. There's a thing with the Emerald version. Normally I would say, yeah, it's the definitive version of the game. But for some reason it didn't change that much. I mean, just in comparison to Ruby and Sapphire, it didn't change that much. Only you gotta play against 2 teams right now. Which made it feel just that much longer. I would probably rather play a Ruby version instead of Emerald. So this is probably the only game where the definitive version, in my mind, is worse than the original ones. The amount of HMs in these games were disgusting. But 4th generation. We got even more HMs. I mean, what screams fun more? Yeah, you know, you could play a game. You have 6 mythical creatures that can light up the sky or something like that. I don't know, you could have 6 in your party that are all amazing, but we have something better planned. Yeah, you need to use 2 as HM slaves or you can't progress through the fucking game. Amazing! Just great! What a grand design! Alright. Now that this is out of my system, Pokemon Diamond, Pearl and Platinum. I have no idea why the hell you'd play Diamond and Pearl once Platinum released. the definitive version in those is just that much better. It fixed many problems and introduced some more Pokemon variety, which I really did appreciate. And the Pokemon in this generation were just awesome. I just say Gliscor, Sneasel, Weavile, and yeah, whatever. Fuck Magnezone though. The legendaries were amazing. Darkrai, Giratina. I loved Garchomp. I loved Cynthia. Amazing. But on the other hand, the generation is slow. The battles are slow. HMs, like I said, there are roadblocks everywhere. Random ones. There's a herd of Psyduck randomly. Oh, look, you can't go to the bicycle way because there are people standing there that just say, yeah, we will disappear randomly. We have no idea what we are doing here. Great. Great game design. They just surrendered at some point. They were like, yeah, I have no idea what the fuck to do there. The player should not progress because the choice to go anywhere in the world instead of just follow the path we laid out for you is just bad. You know, there's one path and one path only. I mean, of course, it is a totally feasible reason that a city that is completely powered by solar energy on a sunny day has a power outage. Totally feasible, but why would I even need the power to just go there? That is just beyond me. The fact that Generation 4 was also the first generation, where there's no nostalgia for me, is also a factor, because I didn't have money to buy a DS. Like, literally all of my friends. So I played this game and Generation 5 like a month or two before X and Y released. So yeah, still great games. I really do enjoy Platinum, but yeah, those two, they're just outscaled, you know. Generation 5. Pokemon Black White and Black and White 2. I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Pokemon Black and White and their sequels Black and White 2. Amazing names, okay? But besides that, those games were fast-paced, they introduced hidden abilities, they cut back on the sheer amount of HMs needed. They were shit. I said it. I really didn't enjoy playing them. Why did they decide to remove old Pokemon from the story? Why did they make any old Pokemon accessible after you play through the entire game? I had one of the best times in a short time frame in this game I've ever had in any Pokemon game, and that was after defeating the League for the first time, and you had like a 20 level jump between the League and the post game. It didn't make any sense at all, but it was amazing. I love hard level jumps. Great, great. But given that the generation had a real bad problem with power creep, and that there's no Pokemon variety at all, what's the problem? I literally played through the entire game with a Ferrothorn and a Darmanitan because I hated every single starter. My stupid Oshawott thingy there evolved into the Samurott, and I instantly boxed it. I hated it. And if I have to see one more of these stupid ass monkeys ever again, I'm gonna lose my mind. I really hate those. The fact that you have to see them so damn often really hurt my enjoyment of the game. I mean, the story was grand. A grand spectacle of, well, a parody of a, real-world organization. And it really showed the hypocrisy of said organization, which I do not want to say, but let's say you can't call yourself animal rights activists when you kill thousands of dogs and cats. Shouldn't do that. Probably bad for your image, but whatever. And before someone says, yeah, you're just like everyone else. Those games are just underrated. No, they're not underrated. For some reason, everyone just fucking loves them. I don't know why. I mean, they had so much potential, which is the actual reason I'm so sad about them. They had so much potential. Just fix one or two things, but given that I really hated playing through them. Also PokeStar Studio. Anyway, and now the nostalgia is back once again. Actually, probably not, because it's not that far down memory lane. But Pokemon X and Y really did change everything, for me at least. Because they introduced one really amazing thing. Greater than the physical special split. Greater than Pokemon abilities. And that is the ability to choose your language. It was amazing. Because, you know, somewhere around the time where Diamond and Pearl released, I started to play every game in English. And yeah, it was really hard to get an English copy of a game over here. Especially ones for the DS. So I played through Black, White, Platinum and Hard Gold in German. 2 months after that, I saw the language select screen, which was amazing. It was great. I really loved that. Also, the ability to customize your character was just amazing. And yeah, those are some great things. But now let's be real. Pokemon X and Y. Why the hell was there no Z version? I feel like those games had so much promise. So much stuff that was just hinted to. Like, oh yeah, you know, there's a train, it goes that way. We never get to ride the train. You know, there, in this cave, there's that. And the whole thing with Zygarde. It was Fugazi. It was just fairy dust, I guess. It was never there. Speaking of fairy dust, fuck fairies. I don't mind the balance implications. I just say, fuck fairies. Every single fairy introduced disgusts me. Well, besides Xerneas, but yeah. I hate them. I really hate them. And why would you make Pokemon like Clefairy? I mean, okay, I can see that word. Jigglypuff and stuff into a fairy type, and this stupid ass fucking dog from Generation 2 into a fairy type, but I don't know. Maybe the little fairies of the lake could be a fairy type too, maybe? Maybe? Probably not, okay. Maybe not then. The story of those games was over the top. Nothing more to say. Lysander was just a bit out there, to say the least. Just wanting to destroy everything. Could have had a really good payoff. Was probably planned, but time constraints were probably a thing. Which brings me to a point I want to say about those games. Generation 6 was probably the first where you really could see time problems. Having just problems in development time. It started in X and Y and it reached its peak in Generation 8. And I really hope that Gen 9 is a polished game for once. I mean, Generation 3 was just amazing. Just look at it. You see there was love put into it. Generation 4. The remakes of Gen 2. Those were just passion projects. Generation 5, even though I don't like it. The music in those is amazing. Everything in those games are amazing. You know, the little story with the Team Rocket guy that just left Kanto and, well, went to... shit. What was the name again? Univer. Univer? Unova? Unova. And went to Unova to just settle down and have a family and stuff. Amazing. I love it. The seasons and everything. Some backstories. Great. But this generation, you could really feel the time was running out. And it is really sad to say that. Because those games, they continued with having a wide variety of Pokemon catchable in the wild, just like Pokemon Platinum, actually even better than Pokemon Platinum. Mega Evolutions were amazing. Sadly, they didn't continue with that one. But, you know, we gotta have Gigantamaxing and jewelry, I guess. And the saddest thing of all, the skates. Why are the skates gone? I really loved the skates. It was the best way to move in any Pokemon game ever. Maybe a close contender with the Markbag of Generation 3, but holy, those skates, I loved them. Why? Why, Game Freak? Why? Anyways, I do still think those are really good. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Alola, friends. I really like those games. Probably the games in the last, well, 5 years which I've played the most. I did start with Pokemon Moon. I do have to say I kinda enjoyed it, even though the dawn of the tutorial broke upon us. Oh my god! That is hideous. Why is it so bad? But oh well. They fixed that one with Ultra Sun, and they fixed so many things with Ultra Sun. Which makes me actually say that Sun and Moon don't exist just in comparison. There is no game which has a bigger difference between the original versions and the definitive version. Ultra Sun is just so much better. It is not even funny how much better it is. This game is the last Pokemon game I would say, yeah, this was a passion project. There are little things everywhere. There's a little side quest there, there's a Pokemon doing stuff there. It doesn't do anything, but it's just there. The world feels lived in. And that is just amazing. They changed the story up a bit. It got even crazier than the first one, which was pretty cool. The characters are likable. Well, fuck Hop. How? Hop? I don't know. Literally the same character. And I really did enjoy it. I would say it's probably close to my favorite Pokemon game. The favorite. I'll just say that I'm not going over remakes normally, but yeah. This is just the best Pokemon game of all time. Hands down. Anyways, the Alolan forms were memes. Enough said. The forms were just memes. Ultra Beasts were... yeah, I mean, they existed. I know circuitry is a thing, and Buzzwole, and the clown thingy, and the fortress thing, and the flying rocket thing. I don't know. They weren't that memorable. I know they were really broken, most of them in competitive. And I really did like Naganadel, or whatever it's called. I think it's just great. And I really do like, what's his face? Lunala. That was amazing. And the Pokemon variety in those games. Like I said, amazing. I just love to, well, play through a game with the mons I want. Or with Wonder Trade, which was introduced in Generation 6. Amazing. I love Wonder Trade runs. I just love it. Anyway. In Generation 8. Yeah, I do have to say Pokemon Arceus is probably one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. I mean, just having a more or less open world Pokemon game in which you could just catch the Pokemon you want to catch with balls. The whole time traveling thing is out there, but I like it. Whatever, it's kind of an isekai. Pretty nice. You're playing the character from Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So that is something I really did enjoy it. Even though I have to say, for the fact that it being the only Generation 8 game that actually exists, is kind of strange. I mean, it's not really a Pokemon game in the aspect of, you know, catching Pokemon, doing gyms, becoming the champion, facing off an evil team or something like that. That just doesn't exist. Pretty strange. I mean, the Generation 8 anime with Go and Ash and Galar, even that is strange. I mean, Legends Arceus doesn't even play in the Galar region, and most of the new Generation 8 Pokemon don't even appear in that game. That is just baffling to me. Anyways, yeah, that is my list of every Pokemon. Yeah, never mind. Pokemon Sword and Shield does exist. And you know my problems with Pokemon Black and White, Pokemon variety and everything. Yeah, I mean, they did that better, but not that much. Especially given the fact that my favorite Pokemon don't exist in those games. It doesn't make it any better. Secondly, the games look unfinished. I mean, Legends Arceus looks like they needed 2 more years to do the graphics, but the story is pretty cool, the gameplay is fun, and everything. But Sword and Shield. They had the single worst tutorial stage of every game ever, because literally the entire game is a fucking tutorial. It don't matter in which town you are. You know, you get into the town, there is Hop, it is Hop, not how, whatever, same character. This guy, there is the chairman guy, there is Zoniac woman, there is Leon, fuck Leon, I hate this guy. And just says, oh yeah, you know, you're in this town, there's the Poké Center. Then you go out of the Pokemon Center, oh, there's the next one. We did a playthrough with a friend. And beginning of said playthrough, we said, yeah, we're gonna drink a sip of wine every time someone needlessly interrupts us. Because I had just finished playing a playthrough of Pokemon Sun before, and I knew how annoying it could be. Holy hell! We were in the 5th town, we couldn't even speak a word. We were just wasted. That wasn't funny. I don't know. It's like those guys learned amnesia and completely forgot all the lessons they've ever learned. Not only from Ultra Sun, from every game ever that they've made. I mean, holy... People weren't happy with the hour-long tutorial of Pokemon Sun. Yeah, you know what we should do? Make the entire game a tutorial. And I haven't even started about the graphics. Those things look like they belong into another era. I mean, how do you manage to bring a game from the 3DS to a Nintendo Switch and make it look worse? How? How could you do that? And why devolves this video into a fucking rant? I don't know, but it is a fact. I mean, you walk through a town. First of all, these towns look empty. Ever walked through, like, a town in Pokemon 5th generation? Those things looked lived in. Sword and Shield, those things are empty. And once you see a person, they just pop out of thin air, because the render distance is worse than a fucking Silent Hill. Which brings me to the wild area. Yay, it's a big open world where the Pokemon live, where they breed and have fun and everything, and it feels like it's lived in and you could just see the environment. No, because you can't see the fucking Pokemon unless you're literally 10 feet away from them. On top of that, they even added a little sound once they plopped in. Like they knew, oh shit, yeah, you know, we can't finish the game, so at least make fun of it. Wow. Great, just great. This game had so much potential. And this is the only reason I made this row. because those games are literal trash, and I wish they wouldn't exist.